Video, by the way. I think this could be interesting to take a look at very quickly of Robert Gibbs today answering the question a second time. It was answered by one of his assistants last week, talking about Alan Simpson's future as co-chair of the Deficit Commission, which I believe is clip number 4.
Does the President have any reaction to the renewed calls for Alan Simpson to be removed from the Deficit Commission based on the email that he sent to the President of the OWL? Comparing America to a
Senator Simpson. Look, Senator Simpson sent an email that he's now apologized for. We regret that he sent that email. We don't condone those comments. But Senator Simpson has and will continue to serve on the commission.
See, now here's what I think is important about what just happened there. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but the questioner wasn't done. The questioner had just started a phrase that said, when Senator Simpson made a statement comparing America
to a milk cow. Right.
To a milk. Now, this reporter understood the statement that Simpson compared America and American citizens to people
he called them teat suckers.
Yeah, all them
suckers.
300.
But he didn't use that word teat.
Correct. 310 million of them. You, me, everybody. So, and he cut them off. He did not want the question to continue.
This is why I have a little bit of a problem with the approach that the problem with this letter is that it's offensive. Because yes, it is offensive.
Right.
The problem with going to the White House and saying, this man's offensive, the problem is that you can apologize for being offensive.
Right.
But you cannot apologize for being biased.
Correct.
You cannot apologize for entering into your job and being incapable of actually doing your job in a competent fashion because you have biases that do not allow you to objectively analyze the numbers. If you think that there is a program that is so contemptible, that you would, so horrible that you would look upon those who are involved in it as these sucklings who are sucking the life force out of America in some way. How can you possibly objectively look at how it impacts the deficit? You're just going to hack away at it. You're going to slash it.
And that would also explain why a commission that was created to look at causes of the deficit has suddenly diverted all of its mental energy, apparently, and certainly a lot of its public rhetoric towards a program that doesn't contribute to the deficit because it's self-sustaining.
Not one dime.
Not one. There are only two possible explanations for why that would happen. One is this, that the United States government, with the encouragement of people like Senator Simpson, has borrowed $2.5 trillion from the Social Security Fund, and they don't want to pay for the wars, to pay for the Bush tax cuts, and they don't want to give the money back. That's reason number one. And reason number...
That would be the first default by America on its treasury bills.
Correct.
One of those IOUs in the history of this country.
But they don't want to characterize it as a default, so what they want to do is tar anybody who wants the money they put in to be there when they retire as somehow corrupt or evil.
I think that the takeaway from this is that whatever recommendations come out of that commission are already delegitimate. Before they come out with any recommendations, it is clear that the process has been so compromised that the way they've gone about this, with the way they've stacked this commission, with the way that the co-chair has clearly brought his own biases to what should be essentially a math question, that there is no recommendation that can come out of this committee, even if it's one that I agree with, that really has any credence or credibility, and the whole thing should be scrapped at this point.
And if you add into that the fact that the Democratic co-chair, the one that's supposed to be the more liberal side of the equation, Erskine Bowles, was the guy who cut a deal with Newt Gingrich to cut Social Security in the 1990s, which was only thwarted because of the Monica Lewinsky scandal. Then you really have the sense of a commission that's a stacked organization that no longer has any credibility. The best thing the president can do to salvage this is to A, get rid of Simpson, and B, say to this deficit commission, you're not looking at Social Security, you're looking at overall deficit issues, and we'll be happy to take a look at your recommendations.
I'm afraid that ship has sailed. I think the best thing he can do is say, there's 14 members on that commission, I'd like you each to write a report and send it in. And let's take a look at all 14 of you. It is clear as a commission the process has not worked. There's no way that we can look at the aggregate recommendations because you were compromised. That's it. Let's see all 14, and I think we're done.
And speaking of ships that have sailed, our ship has sailed because we are now at the end of an hour of the Young Turks. Sam Seder, was an absolute Pleasure to work with you on this.
With you as well.
And we will be tracking all of this.
Yes.
Thanks again.